So I remember I started around 4 years old, and I remember playing house league, having trouble skating, but I picked it up pretty quickly, and ever since the age of four, I mean, I just knew that I wanted to be a hockey player, and I just never doubted myself, and I knew that I wanted to make it pro and make a life of it. So from a very early age, I knew that I wanted to be a pro hockey player. I think also too, and living in Toronto, like and having the Maple Leafs as your hometown team, it's who doesn't want to play for them, right? So the hockey culture in Toronto is unlike anything other. It's such a crazy hockey town. So, and there's just so many good players that come from here, and it's all I knew from being a kid. So it was a dream from an early age on.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand a little bit about the whole Toronto hockey scene. I tell a lot of my players and parents, coaches I try and talk to, it's a beast over there. It's nothing. I've never seen nothing like it, especially at the ages. It's treated like pro hockey
Absolutely.
and the NHL at like the age of like 10, 9, even maybe younger. Um, where Vancouver it is a beast, but it's not quite like Toronto. And then even Victoria, it's nothing like Vancouver and nothing like Toronto. But yeah, I have a little story that I was able to take a player. His name was Alex. He was 11 years old at the time, I think, and he was moving from Victoria to Toronto area to play hockey because his mom had found a job, and they had asked me to go along with him to tryouts for. It was for, I believe it was for Pee Wee second year, and he made, he was right on the cusp of AAA. And he made the right call, I think, anyways, that he played double A to get a lot more ice time and develop all parts of his game. But it's crazy to see the tryouts and, the skill level, the competitiveness and all of it. And then including that, it's the parents and the coaches and all that, just how much is talked about.
It's a whole other world, and parents are just get so involved. And I remember my draft year going to the OHL, like all these scouts take everything into account. They don't want to get involved with a high maintenance family, and hockey is just such a unique sport. Like it's like they really want the complete package, starting from the family, and it's really important that everything's in check.
Agree, exactly. I mean, yeah, you've seen different players get up to certain levels, and sometimes they don't have the best attitude or whatever it is, who knows? But I agree with you on the whole parent thing. Crazy dads, crazy moms, and even they'll say the head case hockey player. People should definitely be aware of that and to just be cautious, I guess, when making decisions and all that, what they do. But it's craziness in the cities of how competitive it can be and the things that people are willing to do and
And
say.
back to like the powerhouse minor league teams. Like when I was growing up, it was the Waxers and Richmond Hill Stars, and like the 90 year was such a big year. And parents would really do whatever it took for their kids to be on those teams, meaning you know renting a home in that district so that the kid would be technically eligible. And I saw parents really do whatever it took. And again, that was a whole new world for us. Fortunately, we lived in the area. I played for both teams. We didn't have to do that, but parents would do anything for their kids to be on those teams.
Yeah, it happens actually a little bit out this way too, where they move. I've had that back when I was in minor hockey, and definitely a huge move for them to move as a family, but even like maybe as players. But at the same time, I look back, like those sacrifices were very rewarding for some of them. And
Absolutely, for sure.
it goes both ways too. There's definitely some big positive, and everyone's like, "Oh, these guys are so crazy for moving." That '90s team, like who was on that team, or some names?
We had we had Brandon Burlon on the Stars. We had Cody Hodgson. We had Stamkos. We had so many guys that have done so well in their careers. Like the '90s in the OMHA, we call it, and then there was the GTHL. There was just so many names that have made it pro and have done so well for themselves.
Yeah, yeah. So all those sacrifices just went on, and not only did parents make those moves, but I think they saw in their kids how bad they wanted it, maybe, or how much they loved hockey to put that time, effort, and money towards all of that. Probably.
It's a big sacrifice financially, and again, like you said, you're at practices 4 times a week and traveling to tournaments. It's a sacrifice for the whole family, right? So again, I was very lucky to have a great support system, and they really allowed me to take it the way that I wanted to, and um, I'm really thankful for that. I was very fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah. And also talking and say back when you're taking hockey seriously. So you said a really young age of 4, 5, 6 years old. Do you remember at any points when you're, I don't know, say in those Adam Peavy levels of 8, 9, 10, 11 years old of what was going through your mind to get to pro hockey? Like obviously the passion and dedication to get better and make it, but did you
Yeah, yeah. I was a big kid growing up, so I did have an advantage, and I was a good skater. So for a good few years, I mean, I really dominated minor hockey. Like I was so much bigger than everybody else, and I could really play the game. Um, and it's sort of when I took it to the next level, going to shooting schools, power skating lessons. I really told myself that I wanted to be a pro hockey player, and I was willing to do what it took to take. Sorry, and it helped my game a lot. And it was those early on years that I just found that I was working hard over other kids, and it helped out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So like when you talk about power skating, which power skating instructors did you work with in Toronto? Any names that you really enjoyed, even if they're not, say, big names? Like, did you?
You know what? There was. I just don't remember the names.
Yeah,
There's been so many along the way.
yeah,
Some great shooting schools I went to. One of the best trainers I had, he was more at the end of my career, was Matt Mickle with BioSteel. He's just, the guru of hockey trainers. He was fantastic. He really understood what each player needed,
yeah.
and
Individual
and
one-on-one coaching.
yeah, it was just he was just an expert, and really helped my pro game. But there's just been so many different trainers along the way that helped me, and thankful for that.
Yeah. One power skating coach I worked with was back when Rangers organization was with Hartford. Was it Barb Edelbaum maybe?
Yeah, Barb, I
She
forgot
left,
about her.
I think.
She
She
was
was from,
great.
yeah, yeah, she was really good.
I found the power skating coaches more came out during the end of my career. Like they weren't around, they weren't videotaping you as a kid, but I found that came out a little later, and they made such a big difference, though.
Yeah. Yeah, just being able to see visually, right? Like a lot of I'm a visual learner myself, but a lot of the players are visual learners because we watch game tape and all that stuff. But how much it actually helps for them. I mean, you see all the kids these days who are doing toe drags and flipping puck between their legs and all that. They're learning through visual learning, like on YouTube. They're just able to see it and they go and mimic it and do it. So
Some of the things that I'm seeing now, and especially even in young kids playing, is unbelievable. The skills that they have, it's crazy how the game's changing.